We are on the Sugar River. The temperature drops vastly tonight, but we got some shiners, some fatheads, and we're gonna toss them into the river right before a cold front comes in. There should be plenty of fish hitting, so hopefully we can get something good. Got some shiners today, like I said. Some of these shiners are like semi-dead, but that's fine. Both walleye and catfish will eat them, and that's what we're really here for. Walleyes and catfish. So yeah, we're gonna toss them in the creek. The creek's current is quite a bit stronger than what it was last time I came here, but that's fine because it's rained the last couple of days. Toss it out a little bit further than that. That should be fine. It's probably only like 1.5 feet, 2 foot deep, but there's usually a lot of fish here. I might actually try the spillway as well, especially at night. There is a deeper hole in Broadhead Spillway, and because there is a deeper hole in Broadhead Spillway, a lot of the colder water fish might actually hide out in the spillway. There's definitely a fish on here now. This pole, I think it's a walleye. It's not a very strong pole, but I think, yeah, it's definitely a fish. I'm pretty sure it's a wally. Is that a walleye? I think a catfish would have been a lot stronger. Is that a bass? No, it's actually a bass. Oh, that's a nice bass. Smallmouth. Or was it a largemouth? No, it's a largemouth bass. It's a very nice bass. Probably a pound or two. One of the bigger bass I've caught this year. I don't really fish for bass much, but that's a chunky bass. Probably like 1.5 pounds. Largemouth bass. Not what I expected today for my first fish, but 1.7 pound bass. Nice chunky guy. Largemouth bass. Very, very nice fish to start out the day. 1.7. We're just gonna throw him back. Water's pretty cold. I think he'll be fine, and he goes right off. All right, nice largemouth bass there. Good to know that the largemouth bass are out. The smallmouth bass should also be out in that case. And that means we got some good fishing today. I think I'm gonna get some walleye and catfish at night. Very, very nice day today so far. So hopefully we get a really nice multi-species day with a lot of big fish. I put a far pole over here, and I definitely believe it has something already. I don't know what, and it might just have pulled it into a snag, but that is definitely a fish. And by the looks of it, it's a catfish, or could actually be a flathead. I mean, I don't know. Right now, yeah, it's a fish. It's not a small one. It's not a huge one though. It's caught on a branch. What is it? Is it a gato? I think it's a gato. Yep, it's a gato fish. 20-pound braid here, but this is a little bit higher up. That's a decent sized one actually. It's gonna be difficult because I don't know if I can flip it. It's a gato fish. Let me try to get down on as close as I can. I don't like, this is the one reason I don't like casting here. I'd rather cast in the other place because this place I think is a better fishing spot, but it's really, really hard to actually get the fish if it's like decently big. If this is just a small walleye, this wouldn't be an issue, but this is not a small walleye. This is like maybe a 4-pound catfish, and I don't know if I can pull it. It might break the rod. Yeah, well anyways, catfish. I'll get it up somehow. I'm gonna go get the net. Definitely a bit leafy, but about a 2-pound catfish. Not bad. Second fish of the day. If that had been any bigger, I would have had major problems putting it up there. Catfish. All right, let's let this guy go. There you go, catfish. And off you go. And off it goes. Off it goes. We're going to continue to put a bait about 50 yards downstream from the other place. I can still see it from here. And yeah, that got a catfish. I think it's slightly deeper here. Not by very much though, I have to say. The Sugar overall is not a deep river. And if I can find like a 4-foot hole, if you can even call that a hole, that would be great. The spillway does have a hole that's like 5 or 6 right now. I might try that later at night. I don't know if there's any flatheads at the spillway. I certainly hope so. That'd be awesome. I definitely got to try this like in the spring, like around May. I definitely think I can get some death fish, some good catfish here. Like in May when the water warms up to 60, 65 degrees here. Like, that's really before the flatheads get active on the other rivers for me, but on these smaller rivers like the Sugar and the Crawfish, I do think like in these shallower flats and the narrow straits at night, get some shiners here, then you can get some good flatheads. During the summer, not a bad fishing spot, the Lower Sugar, but the problem is it's actually not a very comfortable place to fish. It's bug infested and it's scary at night because, you know, swamp monsters and stuff. Yeah, there's a legend around this place that there's some kind of monster at Avon Bottoms. I don't really know if I believe that, but there have been mountain lion sightings in the last 10 years here, and mountain lions, whether they're swamp monsters or not, can screw you up pretty bad. So, you know, come here at your own risk. Finally at night, we have a fish over here. I think it's a catfish. Pretty sure it is, based on the pole. Would be really surprised if this is a walleye, because it'd be a really big one. Walleye's poles are not that strong unless they're massive. And this one would be a massive walleye, but I'm pretty sure it's not a walleye. Yeah, it's a catfish. It's a small one though. It's not a big catfish. But hey, third fish of the day. Channel catfish, not bad. Not a bad fish at all. Well, there's a bunch of thorns here, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky to get them up. If this was a big flathead, I'd actually be in kind of trouble too. But it's just a stinky little channel. Probably like about the same size as the other one, maybe even a slightly smaller. But you can't really expect a big flathead this time of the year, definitely. It's kind of stuck in the branches there. Right on the shore where it's like 6 inches deep. Okay. Oh, I hate these places. All right, there it is. Channel catfish. Channel catfish, another one. Second one of the night. There it is, nice little catfish. We'll see ya. And splot it goes. All right, got another beta minnows on here, and let's see, just toss this out here, and hopefully we can get another fish. Biting okay today. Not great, but biting actually okay. Not horrible, at least. So let's see what we can get. Spreading my poles out makes it kind of harder in the dark. It really does, because I can't really tell if my poles actually got hit or not, which is a big problem. And I think I've gotten hit by a couple of walleyes, but the problem with smaller walleyes is they don't really hook for me. So I've gotten a couple of shiners stolen, but I have caught 3 fish today, so I guess it's not too bad. You know, I really expected more walleye bites tonight. Every time I come here, walleyes attempt to steal all my beta. So far I've gotten 2 catfish, a bass, and I think I got 1 or 2 walleye bites, but they didn't hook. The hooks I'm using aren't that big, so they should actually hook. I'm usually using 10-aughts, so it doesn't work, but I'm using like a 1-aught or 2-aught right now, and they're still not hooking. Must be pretty small walleye here. A little bit disappointing, but I'm gonna stay here for a little while longer. So the Lower Sugar and the Lower Pecatonica are actually good places to fish, especially in the summer if you can stand all the bugs that are there. Generally, like, I'm fishing a section of the river where I've never seen a boat, and I rarely see kayaks. Generally those sections of the river are better, less pressure, but also like just less disturbances from, like, you know, motorboats and stuff. But they are much shallower. Like this flat I'm fishing right now, probably a foot and a half deep at the most. But in the summer, there's actually quite a lot of fish here. I don't know if there's giants here, but there are walleye and catfish here. If you go like to about, you know, 2-3 feet of water, that's where you start getting some of those flatheads as well. And I've caught flatheads, channels, walleye, bass, everything basically on the Lower Sugar and the Lower Pecatonica. I haven't caught a giant yet on the Lower Sugar or Pecatonica, but I know there are here. I've seen pictures. The biggest fish I've caught on the Lower Sugar is probably like 10 pounds, and that was a channel. Caught a flathead that was like 8 pounds, and caught several walleye. I haven't caught giant walleye. Like, I've never caught like, you know, a 30-inch walleye on the Lower Sugar, but I have caught many around 20. So very, very nice place to fish all the way through when it gets really cold. Something here on the smaller pole. Moved it slightly upstream, but it seems to have gotten something. Hopefully that's just not the branch. Okay, yep, that's a fish. I think I finally got a wally. Or is it just another gato fish? I don't know. But it's something. I think it's a walleye. Could be a small catfish. I think it's a walleye though. Just by the way it's going. Yep, there's the eyes. That, my friends, is a walleye. Finally got one. It's not a bad one either. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger than probably the other ones that have been biting, which is why it got hooked. But that's a good one. Nice size walleye. Probably a good 16, 17 inches, I would say. But nice walleye right there, my friends. Walleye. Not the biggest eye I've caught on the sugar, but let's see how big it is. Let's how long it is. It's flipping around. And we got, oh my, this one is 19 inches, just over 19. I think probably over almost 20 inches. Nice walleye. All right, 19.5 inch walleye. Very, very nice. Gonna just grab it here and throw it back in, and there it goes. See ya, walleye. Oh, it wound off right there. See ya, walleye. Well, I think that's gonna be it for today. We caught one walleye, 2 catfish, and a bass. Not too bad for a day, especially since, like, you know, it's freezing out here now. The temperature literally dropped from like 62 when I came to like 40 right now. So I think the fish are going to be pretty inactive. I've also found out that the medium shiners I get from Dorans are much better than the fatheads. Whether it's for walleye, bass, or catfish. All of them prefer the shiners. I would have pulled up a couple more walleye, but they just took my shiners and they didn't hook. But yeah, generally, like, shiners or small bluegills are going to be the best bait all over on the lower sugar. Many of the places are across the border in Illinois, but there are a couple of good places in Wisconsin. You just have to be able to withstand the mosquitoes and the bugs. So, hope you enjoyed this episode. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I'm gonna get out of here before I catch a cold.